The problem with these researches, however, is that they're quite not yet. This is the next part. Hi everyone, I'm Jim. I'm LitePsych's daddy, host, and #1 most loyal fan forever. Let's go! Before I get into what LitePsych is all about, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I graduated in 2018 with my degree in psychology, and I graduated second in my class. And upon graduation, there was nothing more that I wanted than to take a break, my last summer vacation of my entire life, and study again. What? Nerd! It's my dream to get a master's and eventually get a PhD because there's just something about the human person and this ever fascinating question of why are we like this? People, why are we like this? That just fascinates me. And I thought I was there in the year 2020 when I got admitted to a master's program that I wanted. But it was abroad, it was expensive, I didn't get the scholarship, COVID happened, and so many other things. Long story short, I am still here in the Philippines, aka the bad place. 2020 was rough. For the most part, I was unemployed. I was only doing side gigs here and there, but really nothing permanent. And I tried to plan for the future, but I genuinely couldn't. I couldn't see myself in a year or even 3 years. Even 6 months was a challenge just because of everything happening in the world. And to cope, at some point, people were making dalgona coffee and everyone was living virtual lives at Animal Crossing. People became mothers and fathers to plants, and suddenly a lot of people started turning to content creation. And I thought to myself, why not try it out? Maybe let's have a podcast. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's have a podcast. But I kept drawing blanks on what the topic will be about. So I'm researching and looking for inspiration. And as I was doing so, I came across 2-3 studies or journal articles that would have been inspiration or at least sources for what would have been my master's thesis. And I thought to myself, hold on, we're crazy about psychology. Why not just stay with it? Let's stick with that. So I took the time to go through psychological content online, and what I found generally fell under 2 brackets. So there was your Psych 101 crash course type things, and there was your TikTok psychology hacks to better your life type thing. And both are great. I consume both forms of content and I do enjoy them. But I just thought that we and people are just missing out on the current research being done in the academe, which could be just as informative and equally as helpful as those that we already have online. The problem with these researches, however, is that they're quite inaccessible. There's always a paywall to get access to these articles and these journals. And honestly, you're not going to spend that much because most of the time you're going to pay for the whole journal, but you're really just going to read one article and it's not that worth it. And if you even come across some that are free, what you actually just get is the abstract. So having access to these articles are difficult to begin with. And when you do get access to them, understanding them is just a pain. I feel like academic journals were written not to be understood, when in reality, these researches are done so that it can help the lives of normal people like you and me. But if we can't understand them, then how will they do that?
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
So I thought to myself, if Psych 101 is a thing, then maybe, just hear me out, maybe current psychological research 101 can be a thing as well. So that was the idea in 2020. It's to take academic journals, wrap them up, and explain them nicely so that normal people like you and me can understand what's happening in the field of psychology. And after one long year of imposter syndrome, we're here!
Finally!
And LitePsych is finally born. Woo! And being launched right now with this video. We want to present to you psychology at its simplest without losing its significance. We want to show to you the latest discoveries that may be relevant to your life. So the topics that we talk about, we want to sprinkle a little inspiration and perhaps insight a little wonder into your everyday life. We want to create conversations and tickle your minds on topics about the self, society, and the social. We want to ask questions and be asked questions to talk with you as we explore this ever-fascinating question of why are we like this? Join us as we become enlightened on the latest psychology in simple terminology. Again, this is Jim, and I hope to see and hear from you every week. Welcome to LitePsych.